Yo, back with episode 48 of Document the Journey. And time is flying because I was just saying in a group chat that I was in Barcelona a year ago when my mate got the shits and I spent way too much money on the W Hotel, which is far too much information. But yeah, I then went back and looked at episode, I should know the number, like 10 or something, when I was actually there. In fact, let me find the number of that episode. It was actually episode 9 of Doc the Journey. On July the 6th, 2022 is when I posted that. It's got 2,500 views. It's me sat in the W Hotel that I'm banging on complaining about. And that was a year ago. It's pretty crazy. And then the video after that on July 14th was 250k in the first 3 months and everything is going wrong again. And that gives me great perspective on things because I often feel like things aren't moving quick enough. But then I look back at a video that was less than a year ago when we'd just done 250k in revenue. And now we've more than 15x that nearly in the first 14 months, which is pretty nice. 15x, yeah, about that. So it's important to maintain perspective, and I think I tweeted the other day feeling like I feel like I'm running out of time and shit, and someone said that you'll never feel like you're not and you'll never feel like you're there. And this is probably a great case study in myself because I look back a year ago, and if you said I'd be where I am with the brand now a year ago, I'd have been like, great, that sounds good. But at the time it would have felt crazy, relatively, maybe in ways. I'm wearing head to toe Sanucci, so shout out Fred Sanucci for the pink fucking on brand, what looks like a collab tracksuit. And Vacation gifted me this. I don't know why they sent me this. They must have thought I was an influencer when I paid for my blue tick, but Vacation's a sick brand. Very 80s vibes, definitely inspired a lot by them. So thanks for sending me that. Episode 48, it's the 6th of July 2023, and time is flying like I was just saying, and I'm already rambling in these episodes as always. I actually wrote down some shit to speak about. One thing that's been really preying on my mind is just focus, because I think there's so many fucking opportunities. And again, I tweeted this. I often like talk about shit that I've tweeted because it's a topic at the time in the past week or so. And I just think there's so many avenues you can go down in just in life, but in business, particularly D2C, building a fucking startup. Like I want to go into retail. Like, just to track back, there's 3 ways I think I can scale right now, right? So in the first year, basically did one country, UK, in terms of running ads, one product, Rainbow Dust, and one sales channel being the website. There's 3 ways you can scale a brand, in my opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong or add opinions to this, but you can scale territories. You can go into different territories like EU, America, whatever, Australia, say. You can scale new SKUs like Dream Dust, definitely kind of flop that a little bit as I spoke about, redoing it soon. And you can go into new sales channels. So being primarily for me, that would be Amazon and then retail. And then maybe some wholesale distribution stuff, which is probably falls into the same category. And that's all great. And you like get excited and I'm thinking, oh, things are moving quicker, but I want them to move 3 times quicker, 10 times quicker. So what do I do next? But I guess it's always a balance between the risk and the reward of each one, because the lowest risk, for example, is probably launching ads in EU, which we've done, by the way, in the past 2 months. They're looking really good. That's the lowest risk. You can start £100 a day like you would anything. And if it doesn't work, you stop it. If it works, you scale it. The highest risk is probably trying to launch in retail in Walmart in America, say, with a canned version with like a $2 million PO, and you have to fucking front the costs of everything, and you could potentially bankrupt the business if it goes wrong. And then everything else is probably in between. And yeah, I met with someone very interesting the other day, and they already said that they think I'm not focused enough. And I thought it was interesting because I thought I had to try and do more things, more products, new territories, more products, more territories, more sales channels already. Whereas the actual truth is I could probably 10x what I'm doing right now by just focusing in the UK D2C. So yeah, that's something I'm thinking about. Definitely like day to day, focusing on more micro things, like just doubling down on creative. That has paid massive dividends literally in the past 2 weeks, because I found that I was allowing myself and the team to just drift and start thinking about sponsoring festivals or fucking doing brand collabs that wouldn't bring in any revenue, or doing another fancy video, when the reality is, as much as I love the 80s films, they don't drive revenue, and they probably never will to a great extent. So I just said, well, let's just be really unromantic about it, really raw and real, which is often what you fucking need, and just swallow the pill of just creating more content and smashing creatives and focusing on what's working, which is Instagram ads. And we've done that, and it's starting to work really well. And often just getting back to basics is what you actually need, because there's so many opportunities to add more fluff, complicate things, make things look like they're more corporate or proper when actually you just need to fucking put your head down and scale, which is not always the most exciting way to look at things, but it is just the reality. And I think, self-aware enough to know that's probably what I need to do right now. So yeah, that's like one general topic. The other thing is fucking everything is bullshit online. And that's a pretty big statement. Maybe I should have opened the video with that. What I mean more specifically about that is pretty much 95%, I'll say, of entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship sphere and entrepreneur stuff on social media, and not so much online, but more like social media, particularly Twitter, and let's just say Twitter, is absolute cap. Like, there are so many people like literally lying to their audience to either make themselves feel better, sell their program or course, which, by the way, in and of itself is nothing wrong with that. I have a fucking course. I think it's really good. So do a lot of people. But I'm not lying about what I do or my reality or my past to try and sell it. And I think that's the problem. Like, I think just on that, a lot of course sellers and info product sellers get a really bad rap, where it's like, there's nothing wrong with selling info. Like, you're selling info when you go to uni, no one bats an eyelid. And if you spend $1,000 or $5,000 on someone's course, it's probably way more valuable. And at the end of the day, if someone chooses to pay for something and they get value from it, then how is it a scam? The only thing that's wrong with gurus is when they lie about how they got there, and they lie about what's possible doing what they're selling, right? And that's the only disingenuous part of it. There's nothing wrong with selling a course. I got my course. I think it's good. It's a link in the bio. But so many people just aren't honest about the realities. And I think Twitter, there's an epidemic of it on Money Twitter. Like, there's there's people literally making stuff up to sell shit. And even myself, I find, kind of fall for a lot of it. And it makes people feel like shit. I'm talking like younger guys and people that are more naive and haven't been through anything or very inexperienced in the entrepreneurship game. They will literally just fall for anything they see online. And it's becoming very damaging, I think. I think this generation is kind of fucked because of that. Everyone's comparing themselves to a fake version of someone else, so the real version of them is never good enough. I'm not trying to be all soppy and shit, but it's just true. I'm not even saying, like, there's two sides to it, right? There's people that are genuine, and obviously everyone just portrays the best part of themselves, probably even myself to an extent on these like videos, even though I'm very authentic, not inverted commas authentic, but I am very authentic, and I speak about a lot of shit, I think, that I probably shouldn't do, probably overly sharing. But there's probably an element of it. I'm still trying to present myself in a good light. But then you have the other side where I feel certain names I want to name. Because I literally know some examples, like factual examples of people that are really big on Twitter. And if you knew the reality of their like financial business background situation, they just wouldn't have the following and respect online that they do. But that's the world we live in. And like, some of them are literally straight lying about the money they make, the money they have. They're using that to sell stuff. And yeah, basically almost everything is cap. And even the people that are completely legit, including many of my mates, you know, they probably don't have as much as you think, or they definitely struggle more day to day, either getting to where they got or even now when they have what looks like everything. So yeah, I just think if everyone was just more honest with each other, we'd stop this epidemic of people lying about who they are and what they do and where they've come from to impress people that are also doing the same, who have made the other person want to lie because they're trying to keep up to these fake standards. I don't know, it's this weird thing. I just really think there's going to be like, I think there needs to be like a bit of a revolution in people just being more fucking honest, but it's a societal thing. We all want to put our best foot forward. I do as well, obviously. I'm not saying I'm any different to this. I certainly don't lie on my channel about what I do, but yeah, it's a weird one because people, you end up comparing yourself to a fake version of people, and it's just really negative for everyone, especially people getting into the game and, you know, they've been doing something 6 months, they're not fucking retired with a Lambo, and it's like that literally no one ever in the history of like legitimate business is retired with a Lambo after 6 months, but a lot of liars online will have you believe they are, so you buy their course, and it concerns me to an extent because even I, with the bit of experience I do have in this game, like 6-7 years now, still fall prey to some of it, or still at least fall to like feeling like shit because I'm comparing myself to certain stuff. So yeah, I don't know. That's just something I was thinking about. Something that came up in a group chat the other day, and there's just like so much cap online, and it's like to a hilarious extent. And if everyone was audited, there would be a lot less people posting online, put it that way. Yeah, the final thing that I'm thinking about this week, and I don't know, is this like a new thing I'm going to do in these episodes? Do a few topics every week, maybe. I said it before, but I'll say it again. Like, often having the option to be anywhere, as I have the privilege to do, because I run an online business, right? I can be anywhere. Do I go to Dubai? Do I go to Marbella? Do I stick myself in London, which I've kind of been self-inflicting London winter torture on myself during the winter months, and now I've decided flat out I am moving in mid-September, which is only just over 2 months away, about 9-10 weeks away. And yeah, I'm finding myself like really really struggling to choose where to go, and I also think when I get to wherever I'm going, by default I'll think the grass is greener somewhere else. So that's probably something, I think that's maybe a personality defect I have. Maybe a lot of people do, but I certainly do. And I've evidenced the fact I do because I've made videos in Mykonos when I was in a fucking beautiful place, which right now I'd love to be in, Soho Rock House in Mykonos. I've made the same sort of video when I was in Barcelona and when I was in Bali a few months ago, saying I want to be back in London. So that's the beauty of filming this shit, because I can look back and almost self-analyze and maybe try and use that information to make better decisions going forward. But I still think I want to leave London, and I will be leaving London. But let me know your thoughts in the comments where the fuck I should go, because Dubai seems to be the most appealing. And it's funny because 6 months ago I probably said I'd never go, but I know a lot of people there, etc. I've actually got a spreadsheet, pros and cons of different places, namely Marbella, London, Dubai, Bali as a base during winter, but we'll see. Other than that, very busy week. I feel like I've been deep in the trenches. I mean, aren't we fucking all the time? I haven't actually been away this summer. I mean, I was away for like a month in Bali previously. I was away for nearly a month at the start of the year. So I've done like less bigger trips this year, although I need to get something in the diary probably in the next few weeks, which I think I will. A few trips potentially pending. Because yeah, getting nostalgic watching back episode 9 from this time last year in Barcelona. On that note, I'll leave you to it. Pleasure as always. Thank you very much for watching the pod. Hopefully we'll have some more interesting shit to speak about soon when I do move, and potentially bring back season 3 of the pod, because I know I have put that on pause right now because I was in a bit of a limbo spot with it. Subscribe to the pod. I'll see you in the next episode. Cheers for watching. Peace.